Hi, guys. All right, it is week 3, day 1. I am so excited. We're starting our 3rd week. You guys have just been crushing it. And so I am really excited to do a deep dive today. We're going to be talking about mindset and macros. So stay with me for a little bit because I'm going to have some really good info for you. But I want you to, in the comments, let me know what has been your biggest non-scale victory win so far in the faster way. Because, like we said, we put that scale away. We're going to be focusing on our non-scale victories. So please tell me what your biggest win is. I really want to hear, and not only do I want to hear, but everybody else in the group wants to hear too, because you're going to just encourage so many other people. All right. I'm just so thrilled with the progress that you guys are making. I'm so proud of you and your commitment to the lifestyle and making it into week 3. So here we go. All right, we are not even halfway through your initial faster way to fat loss experience, and you're already reporting that you're more energized, you're leaner, you're sleeping better, you're feeling stronger. In fact, many of your friends and family members and social media followers have been maybe commenting or telling you that you're looking amazing or asking what you're doing. So keep doing it because you could be inspiring other people along the way, which I love. So before I dive into today's training, I wanted to share that we have a generous referral program through the Faster Way to Fat Loss. It is absolutely so important that we share what we're doing because it's helping you. It helped me. If it wasn't for me doing it and sharing it with you, you guys wouldn't be here today. And so I just know that we can impact so many people by spreading the word about the faster way. All right, so some of you have already asked how you can spread the word, and you've told me that you've talked to a friend or a coworker or somebody in a doctor's office that you go to, and they're wanting to learn some more info and wanting to join. So I want to give you the opportunity to receive a generous commission on each and every person you refer to the program. I will provide a form for you to fill out so you can receive a unique referral link and share with friends and family and just appreciate so much that you share the faster way with other people. And so, by you helping somebody else, you're going to be compensated. I'm going to be able to work with them and guide them through the program. So it's really a win-win for everybody. Okay, so let's do a little review. Through the past few weeks, you've been implementing the intermittent fasting, whether it's 16-8, 14-10, or 12-12, whatever I've recommended for you protocol, and thriving. You're focused on whole food nutrition, which is so important. We're going to set those processed foods aside. Eliminating gluten and dairy, super important, tracking macros. And now you know why you need carbs, fat, and protein in your diet. And so we focused on the food cycle last week, hitting your macro targets within 5 to 10 grams plus or minus according to your macro goals. And so now we put it all together. You have the chance to implement and cement the lifestyle. It takes 21 days to create a habit. And I want you to have the opportunity to practice, implement, and cement this lifestyle. Again, we're not even halfway through your experience yet. And this is a learning curve. So I want to talk to you a little bit about mindset. Having a positive mindset is one of the most important elements of the faster way to fat loss. We're going to maintain a positive mindset so that we can make progress towards your goals. It's important to have confidence. If you lack confidence, there'll be no action. So first, you have to believe you can achieve your goals. You have to believe that your body is capable of change and that you are worthy of the effort and time it takes to make this happen, because it does take time and effort. We all make mistakes. We all fall short. We won't get it right all the time. And I don't want to hear that you did wrong or how you think you screwed up. So I want to hear what you're doing right. Let's focus on those wins. The number one indicator of long-term success with your weight loss and wellness goals, according to loads of current peer-reviewed research. So women especially tend to count their defeats and losses more than we count our wins. How you respond to the hard times and struggles becomes part of your story tomorrow. It's time to rewrite your story. So don't skip the struggle. It's going to happen. And this is where the most growth happens. Most people quit before they even give themselves the chance to succeed, but not you and not here. I'm not going to let that happen. So I encourage you to share your small victories and encourage each other. This community on Facebook is encouraging and supporting. It's all about encouraging and supporting one another. So if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. That's why we're here together. That's why we're in this Facebook community together. I want you to focus on why you chose to be a part of this program and your end goals. You may have to make small sacrifices and change your habits, whether it's fitting in your workout schedule, planning your meals ahead of time. These things do take effort, but it's so worth it. And if you're struggling with emotional eating, reward yourself with something other than food. Have fun, stay positive. It's impossible to see results if you stick with the program. it's impossible to not see results, excuse me, if you stick with the program. Our main goal is progress, not perfection, always. So, just a reminder, stay off the scale. It is not a good representation of body composition or the progress you're making towards your goals. Initially, in the first few weeks, you're going to drop water weight and burn fat. Then you're going to start to develop muscle, which we need to increase our metabolism. Muscle weighs more than fat. Some areas of the body burn fat at a slower rate, so you may feel like your jeans are temporarily getting a little bit tighter. Instead, focus on those non-scale victory wins we've talked about so much. Never lose sight of your personal definition of progress and success, especially as you continue to move forward and solidify the faster way strategies into your lifestyle. Your goals are unique and special to you, and that's all that matters to me. They are not the same for everybody. I'm here to celebrate you and your journey every step of the way. Your journey is your journey. Progress is progress. So set proper expectations for yourself. Everyone's progress is going to look different. If you have hypothyroidism or you're menopausal, your progress may be slower than others. And don't underestimate what you can accomplish in a year, and don't underestimate what you can accomplish in a year, and don't overestimate what you can accomplish in 8 short weeks. So proper expectations. Slow progress is still progress, and it's sustainable, and fat loss is rarely linear. So it's going to take time. All right, I want to dive in and talk a bit about macronutrients, which is the energy-giving components of food that fuels our body, including protein, fat, and carbs. So we need all 3 macros from a variety of sources every single day. It's important to hit our macro minimums in order for our bodies to be in homeostatic, healthy, happy place. And that's what we want, right? It helps with a healthy metabolism, hormone maintenance, and energy. So the first one we're going to touch on is carbs. We got to love carbs, right? Carbs are not the enemy. Many of you came from an extreme low carb diet, which left you feeling depleted and restricted. And I want you to enjoy life, and I'm sure that you do too. The faster way to fat loss is a wonderful transition from a low carb diet. We need carbs to stay energized, balance hormones. God intended us to eat carbs, including fruits and veggies. Any lifestyle that tells us to completely eliminate fruits and veggies is probably not a sustainable lifestyle, and we want to engage in long term. We're going to focus on learning the science behind why we need carbohydrates. I want you to be sure we are consuming enough carbs to balance hormones, maintain energy, and also for so many other benefits. So carbohydrates are important because they're the body's primary and preferred fuel source. When we consume carbs, our bodies transition carbs to glucose and then store those carbs as glycogen in our muscles. This is the first fuel source we use as we are in movement. Not all carbs are created equal. Focus on complex carbohydrates such as potatoes, beans, peas, oats, quinoa, and rice. Yes, donuts are carbs, but let's save that for an occasional treat. Complex carbs are digested more slowly than simple carbs, which means they provide longer lasting satiety and should be the main focus. Limit simple carbohydrates such as honey and pure maple syrup, and avoid refined sugar and carbs. Enjoy any fruit desired as long as it fits into the carb macro count for any given day. Carbs help regulate our blood sugar and insulin response too. They initiate the blood sugar response, and we need the blood sugar response to initiate an insulin response. Tongue twister there. Insulin is a transport hormone. It's important in shuttling protein, vitamins, and minerals into your cells. It's the master hormone. The master hormone turns on hormones like testosterone, estrogen, progesterone, sex hormones, irregular periods, trouble getting pregnant. So we need carbs to facilitate these processes. Long-term carb restriction puts stress on our adrenals, can cause suboptimal thyroid, and can also cause low energy. And we don't want that, right? We want good natural energy. So some of my favorite high carb snacks are gluten-free oatmeal with fresh fruit, acai or smoothie bowls, dairy-free yogurt with fresh fruit and granola, fruit with nuts, nut butters. I love to do that. I love to do like blueberries, raspberries, blackberries with some mixed nut butter, almond butter, such a good snack. Rice cakes with nut butter is also great. You could put some fruit on top of that. Sweet potatoes are one of my absolute favorites. They're so easy to make. I can prep them ahead of time, and I absolutely love them. All right, now we are going to touch on protein. We also need protein. I'll continue to stress the importance of consuming enough protein throughout this program. We must consume enough protein if we're hoping to see body composition changes. It has to happen. We can work out all day long or intermittent fast on a daily basis, but if you're not consuming enough protein, you won't be able to build lean muscle, which means we will not be able to optimize maximize your metabolism. Consuming enough protein means developing muscle and maximizing metabolism. Protein is used to build and repair muscle tissues. Protein is the building block of muscle, bone, skin, cartilage, and blood. Protein is the only macronutrient that will increase our metabolism when we eat it. Protein equals lean muscle, which equals max metabolism. It keeps us full and satisfied for longer. It protects and preserves lean muscle when fuel reserves are low, as well as build and maintain lean muscle mass when fuel reserves are high. We also need protein to heal, and it plays an important role in immune function. Protein plays an essential role in making enzymes that break down the food we eat, making hormones, providing structure to hair, skin, and nails, as well as several hundred more functions. Protein is found in all meat, poultry, fish, seafood, eggs, plant-based products like peas, beans, and lentils, and in trace amounts of whole grains like nuts and seeds. Protein shakes are fine and sometimes very convenient option if you travel or not on the go, and if you don't have time for meal prep, but we do recommend sticking with just one protein shake a day, not more. And there's many more vegan and vegetarian options, and those are also a great way for vegans to get their protein in as well. So some tips for hitting your protein goal. It's important to hit it at every single meal. I was actually listening to a podcast the other day that if you are, just eating like snacky foods and carbs and things like that, or fats, your body is going to continue wanting to eat that food until it hits your protein. It's called leveraging protein. So you may find that you're snacking on something or just having like a big bowl of pasta and you end up eating so much of it because your body is trying to get the protein that it needs. So it's really important to have protein at every meal and start with protein. I've heard that as well, that if you can focus on eating your protein first, then moving to like your veggies and then carbs, you're going to do really well. So start your day with a significant amount of protein. Most people don't include any or all protein at breakfast. But start your day with at least 30 to 35 grams of protein to hit your macro goal. I like to talk about macro checkpoints. So about 25 to 35 grams of protein each meal. Increase protein sizes if need be. Plan your protein first, then work in the carbs, veggies, healthy fats, and etc. And supplement with protein powder when need be. Weigh your protein so you can track it accurately rather than just eyeballing it. You can assume that all entries in your tracking app are based on the raw weight of food unless otherwise specified. So if you're tracking your protein raw, you need to weigh it raw. If you weigh your protein cooked, you can find a cooked entry in the app, or you will need to take the cooked weight of your protein and divide that by 0.75 to get the raw weight. Your protein will lose about 25% of its weight in the cooking process. Now we're going to talk about fat. All right, so in addition to carbs, we also need fats. Fat will not make you fat. As we go through the faster way to fat loss, we need fit fats or healthy fats in our diet. Dietary fat has many functions in the body. It stores and provides us with energy. It helps transport fat-soluble vitamins A, D, E, and K. And we need fat. We need to eat fat with our veggies in order to absorb the fat-soluble vitamins. It provides fatty acids our bodies can't produce. It helps make and balance hormones, and it regulates our mood. It forms our brain's nervous system and cell membranes. It acts as a buffer for carb absorption and insulin response, which creates a mellow response of blood sugar and insulin. When you pair fat with carbs, there is no rapid spike in your blood sugar. It's important to have with all meals. So I always say, don't have any naked carbs. So again, if you're going to have berries, have some almond butter with it. If you're going to have a rice cake, have some mixed nut butter with it. Super important to have no naked carbs. Fat helps us feel full and satisfied. It's important to understand that. The consumption of dietary fat does not make us fat. Eating fat does not become body fat. The kind of fat is much more important than how much fat you eat. So you want to eat really good, healthy fats. Focus on the right types of fats. Eat naturally occurring fats in whole foods such as coconut and olive oils. Nuts and seeds, fatty fish like salmon, avocados are a fantastic source of healthy fat and high in fiber. Nuts, seeds, beef, fish, eggs, all that good stuff. If you've been following the Faster Way to Fat Loss meal plan, you've been seeing these examples of healthy fats and carbs, how they fit into the diet. Also avoid unhealthy fats such as vegetable and canola oils. They are definitely not good. Margarine, shortening, and other lab created fats. We don't want any of that. Refined oils, which are hydrogenated oils, also cause inflammation and chronic disease, so stay away from those. The main takeaway is you need all three macronutrients from a variety of foods every single day. Again, throughout the week, I'll be posting additional information about each macro and foods suggestions as well. In addition to consuming enough macronutrients, we'll be eliminating gluten and dairy as we discussed last week. You may already be noticing less bloating, better digestion, and clearer skin. It is the cross manipulation of our foods that is the main problem which causes them to be overly processed and unfortunately causes lots of issues in our body. So some alternatives are goat cheese, feta, almond milk, coconut milk. There's lots of dairy-free options out there. And eliminate gluten. Many of you will have sensitivities to wheat and gluten and not even know it. So slowly incorporate it back in for now, but you can, but for now, let's focus on whole foods. Rest and recovery. One of the more crucial pieces of having a healthy metabolism, which is happy hormones and a leaner body composition, is to prioritize rest and recovery. And I know for some of us that can be tough, and we might think it's a waste of our time, but it's not. Rest days are absolutely critical to your success, and more is not better. Consider it a non-negotiable to take 1 to 2 full rest days per week every single week. Although we're resting, we still consume regular macros. Here's why. Our body needs to recover, repair, and rebuild. We can't build muscle if we aren't hitting our macro minimums. If we restrict our macros and calories drastically, we're not going to be able to build muscle. It's a common misconception that our body requires less energy, calories, on days you don't work out. Often on rest days, women eat very little because they're not working out. If you enjoyed a heavy lift the day before, you actually hurting your progress if you're not consuming enough fuel even on rest days. So ideals for recovery workout can be a long restorative walk, 8 to 10,000 steps per day outside of your workouts and on rest days if you can. Hike with your family or friends, swimming, yoga. I love that in our app, we have some amazing workouts. We have yoga workouts, we have ab circuits, we have iso stretch. So don't neglect them. Don't think of it as a waste of time. It is super important for your progress. So in the Faster Way cycle, which will always be with an occasional exception, when we do a 24-hour fast, which I'm going to talk more about in just a minute. Mondays and Tuesdays are low carb and HIIT days. Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday, regular macro days with strength training. Friday and Sunday, regular macro days and active recovery. And for men, there is an additional low carb day. The cycle is flexible. If you move the days of the food cycle, also move the workout. Keep the low carb days back to back and try to have a rest day after leg day. If you need to substitute another workout, pair the day closely with a workout that we would do. HIIT workouts belong with low carb days and strength training belongs with regular macro days. It is imperative that you do not add more exercise to your routine than what is recommended and that you do not substitute workouts on rest days. Take those days seriously. If you must choose one thing to work on or commit to, mastering your nutrition will deliver the best results. We recommend eating whole food nutrition and staying as close to your macronutrient goals as possible, even if you can't exercise. You do not need to lower your caloric intake just because you cannot work out. So I hope that you found this valuable. We've learned so much thus far. This is a 6-week experience. We are learning, we are growing, we are making improvements every single day. Don't forget, this is all about progress over perfection. Please keep posting your macros in the Facebook group so that I can see them every day. I want to guide you. I want to help you. I want to support you. And more than anything, I want our community to thrive together. So have an amazing week 3 and can't wait to see you all in the group.